dilemmas, but first let's have a listen to Steve McDonald performing Southern Gale.
My name is Jack McDonald and I'm new upon the land. I come with just my family and courage in my hand. I'll rise up here and work all day until the job is done, and make for us a place to live underneath the southern sun. Hey Jack, you're the Southern Gale. You made it here through the rain and hail. I've traveled many miles for my homeland she is lost, and make a new beginning beneath the Southern Cross. We laboured and we toiled, we built ourselves a town, a place to raise our children and a place to settle down. We bought with us some music, we bought our father's name, in hope that dear old Scotland will surely rise again. Hey Jack, you're the Southern Gale. You made it here through the rain and hail. I've travelled many miles for my homeland she is lost, make a new beginning beneath the Southern Cross. Soon we forgotten the fields of Carnarvon, and so become a southern sun. Old Dunedin and Invercargill too, Waipoo in the north and Oban in the Dew, Muskie to Strathmore, Massabiat near the coast. We built a southern Scotland, the land we love the most. Hey Jack, you're the Southern Gale. You made it here through the rain and hail. Hey Jack, you're the Southern Gale. You made it here through.
Fabulous stuff. I hope you're all doing a bit of Highland fling in your lounge. Steve McDonald's musical heritage goes back to the 60s when he was with bands like Dizzy Limit and Human Instinct. He's still very much involved in the music industry and has made a name for himself here and overseas through his Celtic-inspired albums, which have been called the musical equivalent to Braveheart. I welcome Steve McDonald. Come over here, Steve. One-man band this morning.
Hi.
Take a seat.
Thank you.
Now, I've been listening to your CDs this morning. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Tell us about the song that you were just singing. What's behind that?
Okay, the Southern Gale I wrote, that's off my Highland Farewell album, which tells the story of the clearances of Scotland when crofters or farmers were replaced with Cheviot sheep because there was more money to be made from Cheviot sheep than people growing crops. So they basically ousted from their houses, thrown onto ships and sent away. It was quite an amazing period of history, and that's a result of why we New Zealanders have names like McDonald, Mackenzie's, Cameron, etc. It was a result of the clearances. So the Southern Gale are the Scots who settled down in the south of in Otago into the South Island. So I've called them the Southern Gale.
Now, what got your interest into Celtic music?
Okay, a friend of mine in Australia actually sent me over this wall plaque that had the history of the distinguished name McDonald, and I thought, oh, because no one had ever talked about it. My grandfather, who came over from Skye, they'd never talked about the history. You know. So, and I was just blown away by the history of this name and all the right back through a chap called Somerled in 1200 AD, back to the kings of Northern Ireland at the time of Christ. I mean, it just goes way back. And so I thought, oh, there's got to be a song or two in this lot. So 4 albums later, I'm still writing about it.
Yeah, now we've got a couple of them here. Stone of Destiny is one of, and Highland Farewell. Which is your latest one?
The latest one's not there. The latest one's called Legend. That's just been available in New Zealand the last few months.
Now, so you didn't know anything about your ancestry.
No.
You sort of researched into it and got interested in it.
Yes, I travelled over to Scotland. I got in touch with the McDonald Centre on the Isle of Skye and said what I was wanting to do was to write about the family, McDonald, and where it came from, etc. And they basically gave me the keys to the castle. They said, come and stay as long as you like, laddie, you know, and all that. So I went over and...
and whereabouts was that?
Isle of Skye. And then I hitchhiked around Scotland, mainly because I left my driver's licence in London, so I couldn't hire a car.
Oh, no.
So I ended up hitching rides all around the different battlefields and castles associated with McDonald, up to Culloden, up the top there, and then came back and with a mountain of material and started writing these albums.
And how many years ago was that?
That was 92 that I did the research. The first album came out in 95.
Wow. So your first album, Sons of Somerled, that was, and it actually was the first CD to go on sale at Edinburgh Castle.
That's right. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because in Scotland I'm still selling to tourists, not to Scots as such. All the Stirling Castle, most of the castles actually have little stalls, shops in them, and my albums are available throughout most of the castles in Scotland. Yeah.
So aren't Scottish people doing this? You know, making music about themselves?
Well, they are. They are. But I think I must have just struck a chord that no one else had actually sort of got into. At that stage, it was more the Enias and the Lorena McKinnicks that were doing it. It was sort of a a lot more female-based music, you know. And so I sort of plundered my way in there and came up with this bit more red-blooded sort of stuff, you know. Yeah.
So is that what you think your difference is between everyone else? It's a little bit more macho.
Yeah, maybe it is. I just, you know, I was fortunate at the right time at the right place, and especially in the States, that's where I've had most of my success. You know.
Did you approach record labels to make your CDs?
Yes, I approached about 85 companies worldwide, and none of them were interested.
Really?
Yeah, over a period of about 3 years. That's why, like, it took 3 years for me from research to making the albums to actually finding a home for them. It was just very hard to find a company that was prepared to take it on board. And I was fortunate that a company in America, Ethereum Music, the secretary for that company was out here on holiday, heard a song on the national radio and thought, gee, that's the kind of stuff that we'd like to market. Rang up national radio, they told them who it was, they went and bought an album and took it back, and then they got in touch with me through that. So,
and in the States, you've actually sold over 1 million albums, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, it's gone really well for me over there. And we're just working on a new album, which is going to involve full orchestra. That won't be released until next year, but so that's the next project that I'll have on.
Wow, it seems amazing that you know, that the States would be lots of people interested in that kind of music.
Well, America is something like 60 million people have Scottish ancestry, and there are 3 million McDonalds in the world.
Oh, wow.
Without a hamburger in sight, you know. So there's a lot of Celtic and Irish, you know, that sort of thing. But McDonald apparently is the second largest family name next to Khan, from Genghis Khan. The ancestry extends from 1263 AD.
Wow. So tell me about this new album. Where are you going to record it? And you've got a full orchestra. That sounds really exciting.
Yeah. Well, I've just been talking. This only came to fruition about 2 weeks ago. The American producer was on the phone to me and said that they want to use an orchestra, but we'll probably use a European-based orchestra, like a Russian orchestra. They're a lot cheaper. They're extremely good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll do all the basic work here in New Zealand in my own studio. But all the orchestral overdubs will take them over to Europe and do that. So, but at this stage, I haven't written a song for it yet. It's just fresh on the clipboard, so to
Wow.
speak. Yeah.
And you use, you've got a few different bands deposited around the world that you use when you tour, don't you?
Yes, I basically is a set of session musicians in Colorado that I've used several times over there, and I just send the material over for a week or so before, and we have 4 days rehearsal, then we just hit the road for a month.
How does New Zealand audiences react to your performances?
Oh, really good, really good. And a lot of people, it's that heritage thing. You know, 65% of New Zealanders have Scottish heritage. That's a lot, you know. So I've had really good rapport from the locals.
And I hear you and your wife Joss are into marathon running as well. When do you find the
Oh,
time?
Yeah. Yeah, well, Joss is a lot more. She's a harder trainer. She's into Ironman and things like that. We've both run marathons for the last 10 years or so. Early next year, well, mid next year, we're doing Auckland Marathon this year, the 30th of October, and then Edinburgh Marathon next year in June.
Fantastic. Oh, well, look, good luck for your new album, and we'll be looking out for that one when it hits the shelves. Nice to talk to you. Viv Harris to the team. Hope you can join me tomorrow. We'll leave you with another song from Steve McDonald. This is Highland Farewell.
And so we must leave our land, forget all our hopes and plans, and sail far away across the sea. We pray to keep our self-respect as tears fall upon the salty deck. We watch our beloved land fade away. I'll sing to you my Highland farewell. I'll sing to you my Highland farewell. Slow,